Hey YouTube, how's it going? So we're out of the jumps again today for episode 3 of the digging series, and I'm quite stoked because, as you can see, for the most part all the tarps we put on have stayed on there and stayed in place really well, and all the pegs have stayed in, and so I'm real happy about that. I also have bought some more pegs today, so at some point in the video we'll put the rest of the carpets on, peg them in. But the major mission for today's video is going to be fixing up this long and low, so fixing up the takeoff and the landing again to get it nice and smooth. And then we're also going to fix up this the big jump lip, or the big straight jump. So you're going to scrape away that like green icky stuff, re-slap it back up to hopefully get it smooth like that one. And so just before we get into the digging for today's video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the support on these digging videos. At the time of filming this one, the first video in the series has only been up for just on 24 hours, and it already has over 500 views and over 100 likes, which is just crazy for my channel, because previously, before these digging videos, I was averaging about 25 likes a video and 250 views. So I'm just really stoked about this and really thankful for all the support. So cheers team. We're now going to get into some digging. Okay, so I just started off by scraping away most of the excess mold and kind of like gungy stuff, just so it looks a bit nicer without it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys over to our clay pit to show you where we get all the clay to make the jumps smooth and finish them. Alright guys, so this is our clay pit, or our clay gold mine. And now the dirt in here is just awesome. So if you look at this, it's just real fine powdery. I give it a squeeze, and look at that, it already holds its shape. And so clay like this is just perfect for finishing lips and getting them buttery. So what we usually do is dig out of here, fill up the wheelbarrow, and then cart the dirt to wherever it needs to be, and we use it for the finishing. So this stuff is just unreal for digging. Now what I'm going to do now is hop into the time lapse and get into fixing this big lip. So one of the first things I always do when working on a big lip like this, if you want to get it smooth and buttery like that, is to water it. And so the reason for this is, when you water it, it means all the new fresh dirt can stick to it, and it helps everything to mold together really well. And when the clay is wet, it makes it really malleable like that lip there, and it gives you that real buttery effect, so it just all molds together and it works way better. So just a tip, if you're working on jumps at home, when you're going to finish them, make sure you water them before slapping them up, unless they're really, really wet. Sweet, so that is the back edge, and the side edge is mostly done. It's looking pretty good. Now, when building jumps, and in terms of like how they ride, doing the back this nice doesn't really make any difference to how it rides, but I do think it makes the jump last a bit longer. It looks a lot tidier, and it's just, I don't know, more aesthetically pleasing, I guess. And so I'll have another look at the front, how it's coming along. So we're starting to get the shape of the front looking smooth, but we are now out of dirt, And it's pretty crazy how quickly you run out of dirt when building jumps. So what we're gonna do now is fill the wheelbarrow back up and then get into buttering up the front side finally. This thing's already looking 100 times better, and I mean, I could definitely stop now and it would be perfect to ride when it hardens up and dries out. But what I'm going to do now is get the watering can and chuck some water over top of it again to sprinkle it a couple more times, get that little bit more butter smooth. So I don't know, I really like the look of the really smooth jumps, and I guess it makes a tiny difference in that little bit smoother. So we're going to get into that now and finish this one up. Sweet, we're gonna call this slip done. It's looking pretty buttery. There's a few little marks in it, but overall it's pretty good. It's gonna ride awesome. Quick look from the sides, go up the top, even the back slapped in pretty good, the edges. Look at that curve. And from the other side, whew. Awesome. So I'm pretty stoked on how that turned out. I'm really excited to ride it when it dries come spring, maybe in winter, we'll see. And now what we're gonna do is, well, I don't know if you can see out there, but the weather is getting pretty dark and it is getting pretty windy. So we're gonna make a start on the long and low. And if we can, we'll get it finished, but if it pours down with rain, I'll probably call it. So fingers crossed it doesn't rain too much. Actually, just before we get into the long and low, I'm gonna get the quick before and afters of this slip. And I'll show you a couple of my favorite clips from over the years of riding it. We started off by scraping away some of the excess mold. We've watered it, powdered it with a little bit of dirt, but the wheelbarrow's now out of dirt. tell by the audio, but it's getting just crazy windy. But we're gonna carry on. We're gonna fill the wheelbarrow back up and go into time lapse of doing that, and then slapping this up. Hopefully we can get it done before it pours down, or hopefully this doesn't pour down. Look who it is, everyone. It's Richie. How you going, buddy? How you good boy, Richie? The best boy. You looking after the trails? Okay, whatever you're doing right now, pause the video and smash that like button for Richie and leave some nice comments about him, and definitely subscribe. He's a good boy. This is what we've got so far. It's looking way better. So what I'm thinking I'll do is get in the wheelbarrow dirt because we ran out again, and give it one last dusting, butter it up, and then that'll be the lip of the long and low finished. Call this long and low done. It's not as buttery as the first big lip we did, but I mean it's a smaller lip, so technically it doesn't have to. Man, look at that shine in the sun now. But I mean it's still looking pretty sick, way better than what it was. And you know, doing these digging videos, it seems the further into the video I get, the more tired I get, so digging kind of gets a little bit worse. But what we're going to do now is quickly finish off the video. We're just going to give the long and low landing a quick tidy up, just so it's nice to ride again when it dries up. So let's jump back in the time lapse of that now. Almost there. So the long and low is already looking better. We just got to give it a nice rough slap in and to smooth out these edges again. and then it'll be finished, and that'll be the end of the digging for today's video, and I will be very happy with the effort that we finished digging. Alright, sorry guys, but I didn't notice the wind actually knocked out the time lapse as soon as I started, so I actually missed the final time lapse working on this landing. But you know, here it is. It's finished up, and it's not completely butter smooth. It's pretty dang close, but again, it is a landing, and you know, in my opinion, you don't have to do landings quite as smooth. So what I'm going to do now is get the before and after shots of this long and low. Man, it really does look a lot better. Gonna be super fun to ride it, and stoked to have that little edge come across there. So yeah, once again guys, my bad on missing the last bit of time lapse in the landing, but you get the idea. And yeah, really stoked to get this finished today and the long and low finished today. So that is gonna be the end of today's video. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a like, as a lot of time goes into making them. Leave some comments and subscribe if you're new. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.